If you thought a Minnesota lake home was out of reach, it's time to think again. Minnesota is home to some of the most magnificent lakes, and if you're willing to make a drive out of the Twin Cities, then you'll have access to some truly marvelous and also some pretty remote places that you won't even believe are just a few hours from major cities. And there's a lake home that fits within most budgets. Stick around so I can walk you through the top 10 best lakes in northern Minnesota. Spoiler alert, I needed to break this video into 2 segments because I just couldn't get it all done in one video. So this is part 1 of the video. First stop, Lake Vermilion. The Lake Vermilion tourism website says that there are a vermilion reasons to visit. It's only 198 miles from the St. Paul, Minneapolis area and about a 3-hour, 25-minute drive from the Twin Cities. We find this massive lake that spans over 40,000 acres and has a maximum depth of 76 feet. This lake has over 365 islands, some of which have homes on them that are only accessible by boat. And it has the most shoreline of any other lake in all of Minnesota. It borders the Boundary Waters Canoe Area Wilderness and is almost completely surrounded by Superior National Forest. So it feels extremely remote and like you really are in the middle of the wilderness. Lake Vermilion is renowned for fishing, especially walleye, muskie, and bass. With most of the lakes on this list, they're great fishing lakes because us Minnesotans, we do love to fish. People love boating at this lake too. It's a recreational lake, which means you can boat all around it. And it is massive. So it has what seems like endless numbers of coves and tucked away spots to explore. There are literally hundreds of small bays on this lake. There are campsites around the lake and day use sites, as well as plenty of lodges and places to stay. Other activities include lots of hiking trails and a number of golf courses like the Wilderness, which is actually a waterfront golf course. Fortune Bay Resort and Casino adds to the entertainment options if you want to try your luck. As far as real estate goes, we have a wide range of options. Right now, at the time of filming, there is an entire private island for sale with a fixer-upper cabin on it and an outhouse listed for just $198,000. So if you have a boat to get yourself out there and some handy skills and like being alone on an island, this is a really interesting opportunity. The homes for sale on this lake range all the way up to $2.5 million for a custom-built log home with a guest house on over 3 acres. And there are a number of homes for sale listed at various price points in between. Number 2 on our list is the vast and rugged Lake Superior, one of the only lakes I've ever heard of where the surf gets big enough during the winter that surfers can ride big waves with 10-foot plus faces while wearing dry suits and neoprene hats and booties and goodness knows what else to keep them warm. You may have heard a lot about the Great Lakes, but if you haven't, Lake Superior is the largest and deepest of the Great Lakes. It is the largest freshwater body of water in the entire world. Its surface area is 31,700 miles. If that doesn't impress you, I really don't know what will. The Great Lakes were gouged into the earth by glaciers, and they are the biggest lake system on the planet, accounting for 1/5 of the world's fresh water. There are beautiful towns along the shores of Lake Superior throughout Michigan, Wisconsin, Canada, and Minnesota, but I'm going to focus on Minnesota since this is my stomping grounds. Lake Superior is known for its crystal clear water. People love to go boating, kayaking on Lake Superior, and explore the coastal towns like Duluth, Two Harbors, Lutsen, and Grand Marais. There are lots of options for restaurants, cafes, and coffee shops along the shores of this lake. Superior Hiking Trail is a 310-mile long hiking trail that follows Lake Superior for most of its length, and it goes through beautiful forests of different kinds of trees. There are some incredible parks and destinations along the North Shore too, such as Chattahoochee State Park, Gooseberry Falls, and Split Rock Lighthouse. This part of Minnesota has very limited inventory in terms of real estate for sale. Sometimes it doesn't have anything for sale at all. At the time of filming, there are lakeside condos for sale in Two Harbors that are starting at $529,000, ranging up to $2.5 million, as well as a lakefront 2-bedroom year-round home with 212 feet of shoreline in Duluth Township, listed for $814,000. A lakefront 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom home in Duluth listed for $1.4 million, and a lakefront 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom home in Grand Marais listed for $1.2 million. Lake number 3 on our list is Lake of the Woods, which is arguably one of the world's best year-round fishing destinations. It's also home to the northernmost point of the contiguous United States, although not many people know that. Lake of the Woods is famous for fishing, and there's a huge statue of a fish as you come into town, but it's also well known for ice fishing, snowmobiling, and resorts like Ballard's. It's about 5.5 hours north of the Twin Cities. And make sure to start looking into the Canadian customs process pretty early so that you have what you need, as much of this lake is actually located in Canada. So it's important to do your due diligence and make sure you're on the right side of customs. Real estate prices here range from pretty affordable cottages with prices starting around $150,000. At the time of filming, there is actually one property that's listed for $319,000 that actually consists of 2 separate cabins, a 4-bedroom, 1-bathroom, and a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom on one parcel. There's also a home on over 5 acres listed on Flag Island with over 3,500 finished square feet, and it's listed for almost $1.2 million. So another wide range of property prices. Although once we get this far from major cities, the real estate prices tend to be more affordable than other lakes in northern Minnesota that are within a shorter driving distance from the Twin Cities. After all, you can't get farther north than this without leaving the US and dipping into Canada. Lake number 4 is Lake Miltona, which is located about 11 miles north of Alexandria. That's about 2.5 hours north of the Twin Cities. If you don't hit the summertime traffic jam of everyone trying to get out of town to get to their cabins for the weekend, you've got to be really strategic about when you leave to go to the cabin during the summertime. Miltona is a beautiful and well-known lake. It has a great variety of fish, and it's popular for water sports like water skiing and jet skiing. There are a number of resorts and campgrounds on this 5,700-acre lake with 11 miles of shoreline. It also has 3 boat launches and a golf course nearby. Lake Miltona offers a range of properties for sale, starting from $494,000 all the way up to $990,000 for a newer built custom home with 150 feet of shoreline and a 4-car garage. Lake Miltona offers a really family-friendly environment, and when I think of a lake home, Lake Miltona really captures what I think of. There are different options for real estate ownership at Lake Miltona and at different lakes around Minnesota that may not be on your radar. And as a Minnesota native and resident, I'm connected with amazing agents all around this great state and around the country. So make sure to contact me if you're interested in exploring this lake or any other place so I can put you in touch with the best agent for the location you're looking in. Lake number 5 on this list is Gull Lake in Brainerd. It's about a 2.5-hour drive from the Twin Cities. Gull Lake is home to Grandview Lodge, which is a very well-known and renowned resort that people love to visit year-round in Minnesota. It's also home to Madden's and Craigan's Resort. So it's a really big resort lake and has really popular lakefront bars and restaurants on it, such as Zorba's. With all of these very popular and some very upscale resorts comes a plethora of recreational activities year-round, including championship golf courses and fine dining options. Gull Lake is more of a high-end real estate market. Lakefront townhomes start around $650,000, and other homes on the lake are listed for up to $2.7 million. Homes like that include white sand beaches, boat houses with guest houses, luxurious primary suites, and really high-end finishes throughout. Gourmet kitchens, and all the upgrades and luxurious finishes that you can imagine. I really want to hear from you which of these lakes you've been to, and make sure you watch part 2 of this video where I cover the rest of the top 10 list.